Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dr. Chad Coons. We're back to Prime Time in episode number 13. And we're here to discuss the topic, is walking and swimming really enough? So, I have a lot of people that are sitting right in front of me, and they're my clients, and they've got shoulder pain, they've had knee pain or back pain, and you know what? They just don't get it because they're walking every day. They are swimming 3 to 4 times a week. So isn't that enough? Why isn't that helping? So that's why I'm here to help inform and educate you guys a little bit about what's going on in these circumstances. So let's break it down, guys. So what does walking and swimming do for us? Well, it's good for our cardiovascular health, right? It's good for our cardiopulmonary health, which means it's good for our arteries, it's good for our heart, it's good for our lungs. Maybe it feels good. It's like it makes you feel free. You've got a nice social routine where you get on the phone call or you go with a loved one or a community member and you go on your walk and that feels nice. However, guys, at the end of the day, walking and swimming most likely probably isn't improving the mechanical pain that you have. Let's break this down. So let's say you have back pain. You walk every day because that should be good for your back, right? Well, understand certain types of back pains do respond well to walking. However, certain types of back pains do not respond well to walking. There are a multitude of reasons. You might have to work with a specialist to kind of figure out what that is. But just know that certain types of spines like walking and don't like walking. And then another thing to consider is, who's the last person that taught you how to walk? I know for me, no one. I had to learn kind of as I got older, especially as I got a little more educated in grad school, kind of what optimal movement felt like and looked like, then I had to kind of adopt that. But who's doing that for you? So a lot of times no one ever taught you how to walk. A lot of people when I ask that question kind of go, yeah, no one, I guess, I don't know. And in addition to that, as you get older, we change, right? Most often, unfortunately, we get tighter, we get stiffer, our anatomy changes and our walking style changes. So you have to kind of understand to what extent your walking pattern alone is actually causing some of that pain. It may not be helping, that's for sure. What about swimming? Sure, it helps with cardiovascular endurance, cardiopulmonary endurance, pretty much the same things. Maybe you're swimming because you're trying to help with your shoulder pain. But hold the phone. Swimming does require a lot of shoulder range of motion. In fact, if you watch those Olympians swim, I mean, they have gorgeous flexibility, range of motion. They've been doing that their entire life. They've been giving their body that specific stimulus and they've adapted beautifully. How about yourself? Did you just start to swim just because you thought it would help with your shoulder pain? Do you have that same requisite range of motion? Have you been cleared by a specialist to do that, to know that you've got perfect range of motion, strength, and you even know how to do your technique? There's a lot of different types of techniques out there, and those different types of techniques each require kind of their own subset of range of motion, stability, and movement patterns. So you have to kind of get through some of these thought processes. It's really not that simple to say shoulder pain, water, relief. I wish it worked like that, but unfortunately it doesn't. So you're probably in your best interest to get that mechanical pain addressed by a specialist. There's a very good chance that you can continue to walk. In the case of our low back client, you might have to kind of relearn how to walk, but there's a very good chance you can continue to walk, right? I promote movement, and heck, it's in my brand name, Pr1me Movement. I want people to move optimally. I want them to feel best in their bodies. I want them to find that thing that makes them feel good. You know, not everyone has to be a weightlifter, a bodybuilder, or anything like that. Find your thing and do it well. So if walking is your thing, great. Let's help you keep walking, but understand that most often it's not going to be the thing that resolves your knee pain or your back pain. Same goes true with swimming or even water aerobics, for example. The thing with water aerobics that I kind of chuckle about is that, you know, when you get into the water, and let's say you're doing it for your knee pain, well, water and its buoyancy does a beautiful job of help offloading the joints. Helps you get to some ranges of motion that you wouldn't otherwise be able to, and it feels good most likely when you're in the water. But guess what happens when you get out of the water? Now you're out of the water and you're facing gravity. You've got to go upstairs again. You got to go into that low seat. Heck, you got to sit under the toilet, right? You can kind of practice those things in the water and doing your water aerobics, but that's with help. That's with buoyancy help. You don't get that help when you exit the water. I know that sounds really simplistic, but I think we forget about that all the time. You have to find a way to combat gravity. At the end of the day, you're not a fish. You're gonna have to find a way to combat gravity. And people are quite perplexed on this. And it shouldn't really be that perplexing. You get out of water and now you've got to fight a whole lot more load or weight, and you need to be able to sustain that. So you need to find a mechanical problem with a mechanical solution. That's really the big selling point here, guys. That's your prime time feature. Mechanical problem needs a mechanical solution. So if your range of motion is limited and you're trying to walk it off, it just won't happen. You can walk as much as you want, but you're not challenging the shoulder in that way. If you're trying to swim for your back pain, and while you're getting some core work and while you're getting some overall movement, you may not be fighting that problem specifically. You might have brought a knife to a gunfight. You need to be specific to the problem at hand. And so the selling point here is you guys are more than likely able to keep doing these things as long as it's not bothering you, but just know it's really not realistic for those two modes of action, those two types of movements to help solve your problem. They might be supplementary, additional things you can do outside of it, but they're probably not the main thing that you need. They might be really good rehab-based exercises that you need, some forms of manual therapy, maybe manipulation, mobilization of your spine, relearning how to move, relearning how to be aware of your body. All these other things are probably what you need in order to get back to feeling good and moving good. All right. So hopefully that's not too harsh, but at the end of the day, guys, I don't want you wasting your time swimming or walking, thinking that that's the only thing that you need to do that's going to get you back to feeling and moving the way you want to. They're probably supplementary things, good for the cardiovascular health, good for cardiopulmonary health, good for mentality. That's all for Prime Time today, guys. That was awesome. Thanks for tuning in. As always, feel free to email me at chadk@primemovement.com. Remember, that's Pr1me movement.com. Thank you, guys.